Okay, it's Mrs. Buska, and we're back and ready to add some color to our winter hats. So, before we get started, I just want you to know that when I decided to add color to this winter hat, I wanted my hat to stand out. So, I repeated the same colors in the hat, and then I repeated the same colors in the background. So I repeated in the hat some greens, blues, and purples or violets, which are called cool colors. So I wanted the hat to show some repetition and really make it look like one whole thing. And then the background, I chose warm colors, which are reds and oranges and yellows and pinks. So I thought the hat really stood out. But you may want to choose something else. So when you are choosing to color your hat, think about each section in your hat and the patterns you want to create. You are allowed to use whatever coloring materials you have. Now, I'm at home recording this, so I forgot to bring my school art kit markers home. So I had some Crayola markers handy, but I actually like the markers that I got for you guys better. The ink lasts longer. So I'll have to use those in a Sharpie. And you might want to use your colored pencils. You might want to use your crayon. I have to tell you a secret for most of this. I use crayon. I really love crayon. But in any case, it's completely up to you what you do. So I'm going to start with the diagonal stripes. So I'm going to use red, and I'm going to have my pattern be red, white. So I'm going to leave some of the white paper exposed. So I color that spot red, white, red. Now you want to stay inside that pattern and repeat your pattern with whatever you choose. Okay, so red, white, red, white, red. Now I'm coloring a little bit fast, but you should take your time. Mrs. Buska would prefer you to take your time and do a much better job than she is. White and red. Okay? And then once you're done, tap your marker. Sometimes when I use markers, I actually will put the marker on the back of it so it doesn't roll around. Okay, so I've done one pattern. Now I'm going to go up to the zigzags. Maybe I want to mix materials. Maybe I'm going to use a marker. So I'll cap that marker like I just mentioned. And then maybe I'm going to use crayon. So I have the light green. I'm going to do the dark green crayon. Now again, Mrs. Buska's rushing. I don't want you to rush. Take your time. I only rush because I want to see you fabulous artists working. But I also want to make sure I'm teaching you the right things. Okay? So I just colored light green. I left the blank space between the next light green because that's where I'm going to put the dark green. Okay, so I'm done with that light green. I'm going to cap it. I'm going to take my green crayon. And then I'm going to use my dark green crayon in those empty gaps that I left because I wanted a pattern of light green and dark green. Now notice I am coloring little marks with my dark green crayon. That is one way to color neatly. My crayon broke, but that's okay. Sometimes the shorter crayons work. And then I'm going to fill in those little partial zigzags with the dark green so that I really emphasize my pattern of dark green, light green, dark green, light green, dark green. So you see dark green, light green, dark green, light green, dark green. I'm going to put that green to the side. Now I'm going to take a marker, and I think I'm going to do this whole section light blue for the snowflakes, but I'm just going to do it neatly, stay between the lines. The best way to color with control is you notice I'm holding my marker down low near the tip. That gives me control. If I hold it up here, I kind of lose control and it's harder. I might go outside the lines. So I like to hold it down lower. Gives you better control. I pinch the marker. That's really important. Okay. So I'm done with that. I capped that marker. And now maybe I will start the checkerboard pattern because I'd really like you guys to see what a checkerboard pattern looks like. I actually think it's maybe important to repeat material. So if I had light blue here, maybe I want to use it somewhere else. So a checkerboard pattern is like this. It's an A-B pattern. So this little space here, I'm not going to color light blue. This one I am. So I go A. Well, this was A, this was B. A, leave it blank, B. Remember, light blue is B. A, B. Okay. And then A. Maybe I want to use a colored pencil this time instead of marker for my A spaces. So I have a violet or purple colored pencil. Okay. Now again, you should take your time coloring with whatever you choose. Okay. Now a checkerboard is a special pattern because in the next row, you want to make sure you don't have two colors that are the same touching. So below the light blue, I don't want light blue. I want it to actually be that purpley color. So I'm going to cap my marker and I'm actually going to do below the purple with my blue. So my blue now has become the A. Remember, in the first row, the purple was the A. Now my blue has become A. So it's A, B, A. B, A. Again, color slower. I'm not holding it as carefully as I could. B, A. And then for my final row, I'm going to switch back to copying the first row because I don't want below the blue, I don't want blue again. So I'm going to copy this first one here. And that's how a checker pattern works. Okay, so I would color all these slowly and neatly. Not this one, this one. And then these empty spaces, Mrs. Pushka's not coloring as neat as I should. Gotta hold it, pinch it down lower. These empty spaces would be the purple. And of course, after I kept the marker, I have to color this pattern, this, the poof of the hat, and these patterns. And I think it'd be really nice if you repeated. So again, like I repeated a lot here. So this blue repeated here. This light green repeated here. This dark green repeated here. And I repeated some colors in the background. So whatever you decide, I can't wait to see your hats, your winter hats, full of patterns. All right, that's it for today, artists. See you soon.